Each pilotage assignment should begin with a conference between the pilot and the master. The initial conference is an opportunity not only to exchange information that the pilot and master each needs, but also for the pilot and the master to establish an appropriate working relationship. The conference should convey, and be consistent with, the principle that the pilot and the master/bridge crew each has an important role in the navigation of the vessel. The amount and subject matter of the information to be exchanged in the initial conference should be determined by the specific navigation demands of the pilotage operation. For some vessel movements, particularly those involving a long run or difficult maneuvers at the beginning of the movement, not all relevant information must, or should, be exchanged in the initial conference. Additional information can be exchanged as the movement proceeds. Pilot groups should consider developing master pilot information cards for use by their members. The pilot should give the card to the master at the time of the initial conference and use it as the basis for discussion during the conference. The card should supplement, not substitute for, the master pilot information exchange. There should be a separate card for outbound and inbound movements, also for shifting operations, or different pilotage areas, if appropriate. The card should include information or instructions specific to navigation in the local pilotage area. Subjects that might be addressed include VHF radio channels to be monitored, posting a lookout, beyond the requirements of the rules of the road, and local navigation requirements or restrictions like tug escorts, speed limits, one-way traffic areas, etc. The card should also include instructions or requests concerning what the pilot needs from the master and crew. Subjects that might be addressed include information about the vessel, its characteristics and condition, the crew's requirement to fix the position of the vessel, and only English to be spoken on the bridge. The card should have a blank space for the pilot to add his own items. Each pilot should develop a personal, standardized conference practice, taking into account regulatory requirements and best practices in the pilotage area. Pilots should consider using memory aids, such as written or mental checklists, to ensure that essential exchange items are covered. Pilots should be aware of the regulations requiring vessels to have a pilot card and wheelhouse poster containing maneuvering data and other information concerning the ship. This part of the poster shows important dimensions on the ship. If the pilot, in the exercise of his best judgment, considers the information provided orally by the master about the vessel and its characteristics unclear or insufficient, the pilot should consult the pilot card/wheelhouse poster to confirm or supplement the information from the master. This part of the poster shows the turning circles, in deep and shallow water, from the ship's most recent sea trials. Pilots should be aware that information on a pilot card/wheelhouse poster about a vessel's maneuvering and handling characteristics may not be accurate. The vessel may perform differently when maneuvering in the waters of the pilot station, or under local conditions that may be present during the pilotage operation. The information on the poster may be based on new vessel conditions, which may be subsequently affected by factors such as bottom fouling, propeller or rudder damage, or trim. This part of the poster shows the stopping characteristics from the ship's most recent sea trials. The information exchange should not be abandoned for vessels that call on a frequent, regular basis. Such vessels have the potential to induce complacency. The exchange for such vessels can, and should, be adjusted, however, with the focus on items, concerning both vessel and pilotage, that may have changed since the previous call or are otherwise pertinent to the particular pilotage operation. The initial conference should not be the end of communication and information sharing. The pilot should convey during the initial conference the need to communicate throughout the pilotage operation, the pilot's willingness to answer questions, and the pilot's continuing need for information.